So before we even decided to get a service dog, Taylor, my daughter, who at the time was 4 years. Sorry, I'm gonna think for a minute too. She 8? I think she was 8. 11. Yeah, that's right. She was 8 years old. So she has autism, and with her autism, she runs away a lot. She would escape out of my house. She was also very physically aggressive. So every day she would beat me up, or my mother up, who would watch her. And then it got to the point of her running. She would run away a lot. So every day, literally, I mean, the second you turn around, she's out the door. I had locks on my doors. I kind of exceeded all of my options that I could think of keeping her safe. With her autism, she doesn't understand danger. She doesn't understand the world completely around her. So she would even say that she was like a character like Mario. So literally she would go run and hide for hours. I would be searching for her all the time. And she wouldn't think anything of it. She thought it was a game. So on actually July 24th, it was about 4 years ago, she went missing, and she went missing for hours. For several hours, to the point where we had police searching for her. They got the search dogs out for her. Couldn't find her anywhere. We have the whole neighborhood looking everywhere for her. And the thing is with most people with autism too, is they are attracted to water, and they don't understand the danger of water. So that was one of my fears, was she's probably swimming or in a river somewhere. And luckily that day, as we were searching for her, we actually luckily found her. The crazy thing is though, she was in the trunk of my brother's car as my brother is searching around town for her. And she doesn't say anything. She just lays in the trunk. We never thought to look in trunk of cars because she's never done that before. So luckily, seriously lucky that we found her. I thought she was gone. She was either dead somewhere or gone. So she came back, and actually I was like so happy, obviously, because I thought she was gone. But I remember the officer too, while they were looking for her, and one of them's trying to keep me calm, and we talked about, you know, what are the things I can do, because I said this was a common problem. If they found her, they were going to take pictures of her, because this isn't the first time. That wasn't the first time I've called. So he asked me, what about a service dog? And I couldn't do it. Service dogs, when I looked around, they were all out of state. Service dogs were 20, 30, 40 grand, and I couldn't do it. I was, you know, still am single mom with 3 kids. Anyone with this special needs child, you know, it's expensive to raise. So that was when they found her. The officer turned to me and said, so now how about that service dog? You're lucky. You're lucky she came back to you. So how much do you think that's going to cost? Is it going to be worth it now? How much is your daughter's life worth it? So I can't argue with that. I mean, it's not like I never thought she wasn't worth it before. It was just, I don't know how I could do it. So after that, that's when I started searching more. That's when I needed someone local. I couldn't afford the airplane ride and going somewhere else. And the first trainer I ran into, he got all our information. We actually started the process, and then one day just called me and said he wasn't doing it anymore. So as I was scrambling, because here I paid for a dog, and I have no one to train it, and I actually lucked out and found Ty online. Called him, totally knowledgeable, everything I needed he could answer, and he was willing to hurry and jump in and grab this dog and help me. The nice thing with it too was he's local. I mean, I couldn't beat that. Plus, you know, obviously I explained everything that I needed. I needed search and rescue, no problem with that, because I couldn't have her keep running anymore. So he actually, which was nice, when this happened, when we found out that the other trainer wasn't going to train him anymore. I was out of town with my family. So, and here was a dog just sitting there waiting. So luckily it all worked out. Ty was amazing. He went and picked up the dog for me and started training even before we even got back into town. So Gubbles was about 4 months old when he started. So, I mean, that's part of, I think part of the reason why I chose Ty, besides the fact that he kind of just saved my life with not having another service dog trainer, but also the reason why I picked him was because of his knowledge. When I talked to him over the phone, he knew exactly what we needed to do. He was willing to work with me on payments. He had the options. He had examples of things we can do, of fundraising as well too, to help pay for the dog and for his training. I don't know, I just really felt like it was the best decision I made. And then I actually went and met with him as well. So then we went over everything. Once knowing exactly, he explained about the collars that they use, explained that it wasn't going to take over a year, which was a lot of the training. They said at least over a year to 2 years to get trained, because I couldn't wait another year or two. I couldn't do it, because I think in another year or two, with what happened with Taylor, I really thought she wouldn't be here anymore, because something bad would have happened. I was very lucky that we found her. About their methods, like of their training, what I liked is when he explains the collar that they use. Obviously, clearly, I never want to hurt the dog. Never. I mean, that was one of the most questions I had is, they say it's a shocker, but it's not. It was vibration, and that's something that I thought was really cool and clear that Ty explained. And then he also had me hold the collar and put it at a low voltage and push the button so I could feel it myself. So I knew with using that collar, I'm not hurting him. It's just a simple reminder of what needs to be done. Plus, I like the fact that, you know, we give them the call or command first before you use the reminder. So it's not anything inhumane. Or I like the fact that he's been doing it for a long time. He had no problems or worries about what I expected. I expected search and rescue. I expected for him to be able to come to my daughter, to also have the challenge of, we're going to teach an 8-year-old autistic girl how to command a dog and take him to school. So, I mean, with the way that he was confident in that, made me confident. And plus that they would walk me through every step. They weren't going to just leave me. You know, when I first got him home too, that first weekend, I think I texted them a lot, which was nice that I had them. And it was just because it was a whole new routine and situation. So I really like that. So since we have had Gubbles in Taylor's life, it's been about 4 years now, but in that first year is when it really changed. Taylor changed a lot. So running every day, several times a day, we got him here and she ran off twice. And within minutes, Gubbles, you know, we did the command, he went and found her. So within 2 minutes, we're finding her before she gets into the canal that's up the street from here. Like, she has been found so many times up there. And she's hiding from him. He finds her and gets her and comes and gets me and does exactly what he's supposed to do so I can find her. So in a search that would have lasted probably an hour or so before, me trying to find her lasted 5 minutes tops, because he found her. And after she ran again, she tried it again the next day, and he did the same thing. I did the command, he went and found her, and she came back. She was not happy, which is kind of funny, because she was really mad at her dog for finding her, because I knew it was a game to her, because she didn't understand, but I was so happy, because I never had to worry about turning my back away from her, because if I did, her dog's with her. So after those 2 instances, she stopped running. So, because she knows everywhere she goes, that dog goes. So that was amazing on its part. That's something that the whole day, every day when she's home, I was so anxious because I would go to the bathroom or go make dinner and she's run away. And I couldn't function in a normal day without this dog because I could leave her alone. The other things that actually he helped with her was her aggression. He gives her a sense of calming happiness inside. I would think so. Unconditional love that she gets from everybody, but it's from a dog. She went from her aggression to beating us up every day to it's every once in a while. So maybe every 6 months or so, or she's having a bad day. But it literally went from every day, all day, to every few months. So, and even when she still gets upset, the other cool thing is just like the other day, she got upset and came after me, and I'm holding her, trying to get her to stop punching me or hitting me, and Gulls came over and just laid his paw on her hand, and then she would move her hand and hit me again, and he would bring his other paw up and put it down. So he just kept doing that for what seemed like forever, but maybe only a couple minutes, and then she stopped and kind of looked at him and then just sat on the floor and talked to him, and then we were done. So what lasted only a couple minutes was amazing, which would have lasted before hours. So the results of having him everywhere, going into public with her was a nightmare. She would run off in public. I never went to restaurants. We never went anywhere because I didn't know what we could do with her because she would just run, and I had other children. So taking him in public with us, I can do that now. She doesn't run, she stays with us. She'll sit at a restaurant with us at the table. She's a whole different girl. She's completely different with this dog. It's changed my life. I can go to dinner with her and with my other kids, and we can sit there and enjoy it, and I can sit there and be like, this is what it feels like to be a typical family, because I never could have done that before without him. So I can't speak enough about what he's done for her. She, about a year into having him, he actually was permitted by her school that she goes to go to school with her. And that was also a really neat thing to see change. Because the same thing at school, she was very aggressive. She would get in trouble a lot, couldn't stay in her seat. You know, she was a lot of work. He started going to school, and before he started going to school with her, they track her behavior throughout the whole day. So her aggression was up to, 20 instances a day. He goes to school with her, it's down to maybe 1 or 2 a day, if that. And now we've gotten to the point where there's none whatsoever at school. So her physical aggression went from every day, several times a day, to nothing. And then they tracked her staying on task and all these other things they look at, staying in your seat, staying on task, completing homework. She went to, like, the average she was at, probably like a 20 or 30% average staying on task. Gobbles goes to school with her, she's hitting 80 to 90% of staying on task. It's just amazing just him being there around her all the time. But it changes. We're now, instead of working on aggression and her not being aggressive at school, we're now working on catching up on some of the school she's missed, some of the schooling she's missed. She's not as far behind as she used to be because we can now really focus in on her academics. Besides all the help and services it's given Taylor, my daughter, he's kind of changed everyone in our household just being here. So he knows, he can read us, it's amazing. He knows when I'm agitated, he knows when I'm nervous, he'll sit by me. He knows, I have another son on the spectrum who I wanted him to sleep with Taylor, but Taylor just couldn't handle that at night. She couldn't handle if he moved. She doesn't like anyone sleeping in her room anyway. But I had my son who couldn't sleep very well by himself, so I started having him sleep in his room. And now my son sleeps completely fine by himself and all night, just having him there. So he can be off duty and sleep with my son and help him as well. So I think the funnest part about working with Ty and his crew was even, I don't know, I think anytime working with someone where you can kind of joke about how funny our life can be, or, you know, I don't even know, like, they were always down to earth, like, great people, and understood and were willing to, like, go the extra mile or help me or call me to know what I was doing was right, or working a little extra hard if they needed to, or just giving me the confidence that I needed to make sure that I knew what I was doing with the dog as well. So, because I didn't want to mess up the training, and I several times thought I was, but I wasn't. And then we could laugh about that about me too. So, they're great people to work with. So they have a personality, which is nice. I would always highly, highly recommend working with them. Always. They have changed my life. They have changed my daughter's life in a way. I absolutely love that they are local. Absolutely love that they know what they're doing. I would recommend them to anyone. I would recommend even just any normal training for a dog. It makes the biggest difference having a trained dog, but it also makes the biggest difference having someone local and who cares and understands to do what you need them to do or get what you need out of them. They've made the biggest difference, and anyone should use them. And I thought reasonable, hands down on the price. I love the fact that they work with you, they understand that not everyone can pull out thousands of dollars for training, but they're willing to work with you.